got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Lang, watching top of the flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threads on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. Grab your popcorn, sit right down. Film threads, the hottest show in town. Yeah. Laughs, chills, and deep debates. Chris and
let's start the show. Alan's here. It's somewhere. Where is he?
Mr. Gore, we will definitely do this for you. Go ahead, Camilla.
Ellen. And don't forget to get out and vote.
That's a very late notice for that. Yeah. The election's over, but I'm glad they took the time to come talk to us today.
I know. It's good to see her back out in the public. Kamala here.
Yeah, she's kind of gone silent, I guess, but all the focus is on don't mean to get political. But there you go. It's a good day. It's Glicked. It's Wickedmania. It's going to be a huge weekend at the box office this weekend, and Thanksgiving could be one of the biggest Thanksgiving weekends since before 2019. If the estimates, you got Moana 2, which we will review next week. I think you and I are seeing it Monday.
Yes.
Right? Yes. At the El Cap, which will be a lot of fun. And then also you've got Wicked second weekend. You've got families on vacation. And this is the thing, the movie that wins Thanksgiving weekend is always the film that the whole family can agree they want to go see. And I don't think with Gladiator II's violence, right, it is R-rated. I don't think that that's going to be the movie that families choose. I think they'll probably choose Wicked
pretty much,
or Moana 2, which I think will also do very well. But theaters need this. They really do need this. So I think I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably go to the movies on Thanksgiving weekend just to see a movie, something.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm taking my wife back to see Wicked again.
Yeah, I saw your tweet.
Not so much.
I saw your tweet. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Let's say hi to everyone here before we get started. We have a lot of news. We're going to do news first, then reviews. There are other movies that open today. I saw an animated movie called Flow. Did you see it, Alan?
No. I saw the biopic Bonhoeffer from Angel Studios.
Cool. You review that. I'll review Flow. That's why we're a team.
Yes.
There you go. So let's talk to everyone in the chat. Let's see who's here.
Yes. Hey, Bill S. Preston Esquire. Howdy
all. Hey.
From Darth Yeager. Happy Friday. Ready for those who film and those who threat. Let's huff and go. Benjamin became a YouTube member. Hey, Benjamin.
Thank you. Hey, Benjamin. Look at our members only videos.
Okay. Nick X Herring. Remember for 8 months. Are we not entertained?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Glanuccio. Hey. Hail to the fans of the film of the threat.
Hey, that's Glanuccio, our producer. He's also a filmmaker, and we've worked together for years. We're working on some other projects as well, and love working with Glenn. Glenn is the best. He's awesome.
Yeah. Suns and Shadows. Hail all a coffee counter. Where
I am 1 1/3 cup in. This is my third cup, but 1/3 cup. So I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Well, let's just say that after seeing Wicked, you're in a good mood.
Yeah, I'm in a good mood for many reasons. I'm in a good mood.
All right. And be more better. A hail film threat and a happy Friday.
Yeah.
And that's it. All right.
Happy Friday to everybody. I want to talk about something that you and I did, Alan, but I have to make a banner. Let's see what Glenn always drops videos in and then doesn't say anything, and then we watch them live. So what is this? Okay, Alan, we have 5 other films to review and an interview in 15 minutes.
All right, let's do it.
So we have to move the show along quicker.
So let's do it.
We had to. This is why before the show we have a discuss. You guys want to chit chat. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care what you think of anything.
All right, let's do
We
it.
have to plan the show.
Okay, let's do it.
It's not a big deal, but like I
let's
said,
do it.
we've got a lot of movies to review.
Yeah, let's go to the next review.
So things are going to be kept short. We'll do 5 minutes and we'll review the movies so we can get clips.
Okay, let's do it.
I wonder, and then you're throwing, hey, I have all these news stories. I got to do FNT today, which I don't want to do. I don't want to be on FNT. I don't want to be on other YouTube shows. I don't want to be on them. I get invited all the time to these. I don't want to do any other YouTube shows. I want to do Film Threat and the Nooner with Gary, and that's it. That's it.
All right, let's do it.
So, and I want, like, before the show, I love you guys. Alan, Lori, love it. We have fun. We laugh. Business is business. Fun is fun. Separate.
All right, let's do it.
That guy was having a bad day. Give him a break.
How long that clip was? Oh my god.
Oh my
We could have done a full movie review during that one clip.
We could have. That was clearly pre-coffee. That was pre-coffee, folks. Oh my god. Oh, hilarious.
Yeah. I like how you like doing notes during the show as opposed to
Right. All right. Cool. Hey, we did something fun I want to talk about real quick. We went to an elf movie party at the Alamo Draft House.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was, I've never gone. You can see I've got my little L. You can see it right here. No, right there. There was my little elf hat I was unaware of this. So they do these classic movies and they do movie parties. They do brunch because Alamo Draft House, if you've ever been, I went to the first Alamo Draft House in Austin, Texas. It's a chain of theaters created by Tim League. It's a dine-in. You can get alcohol and chicken wings and pizza and burgers and booze, and they do cocktails that are themed drinks. And we went to an elf movie party and we had a blast. They did a present wrapping contest at the beginning. I'll show you the video I took while we were part of the video. I'll show you that. But Alan, what was your experience of it? I had a blast.
What was it? Yeah, I mean, part of it was they were introducing Wicked themed food and drinks. That was my main reason to go, and the Elf on top of it. To see Elf again on the big screen was incredible.
And by the way, the best moment was when Dante was with us. Dante James and Tyler Disney.
Oh, you better say the right word here.
We all forgot in the movie Elf, there is that one Christmas song that triggers people. Baby, it's cold outside. And while the whole theater's listening and it got really quiet, and all Dante says is, "Oh, that's the grape song." And all of us burst out laughing because it was so quiet, and Dante just spoke aloud and everyone heard it.
And if you know Dante, if you've been with Dante, his voice booms.
He is
even when he speaks softly, everyone can hear it.
Yeah, he has a very deep, he's a great voice.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he just said that out loud, not thinking, and we all burst out laughing. But that song is in the movie. Here's us.
James Caan. Cheer when James Caan shows up. I remember liking him the most.
So this movie is kind of
Another thing
dated.
that is different
Those are all
about
the
these movie
hats that
parties
we had
than
on.
other Alamo parties are all the props you have before you.
So they gave us
These
like jingle
are
bells.
so much
and
fun,
hats.
folks. If
It's
you
fun.
look before you, and also, as I list these props, make sure you have them. A couple of the jingle bells did roll away from me. I did lose a couple of them. But you do...
All right, so we got like snowballs and we got hats. I didn't realize they do this whole event. Like you can
we
see
got scratch
Wicked
and
with-
sniff cards, by the way.
They had scratch and sniff cards for 4 parts of the movie where there's like one of the smells is spaghetti with maple syrup.
Yeah. And another one was the perfume when you know it's like you want to sample and he sprays perfume in his mouth. Mushrooms, because he's in the mailroom and they're doing mushrooms.
Right. It was a blast. So I don't know. I'll probably be back for sure. For sure I'm going back. They're doing a Wicked brunch, oddly. So that's the one that appeals to me because because you know you can breakfast, probably the best meal of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You combine that with boozy drinks or boozy. They had, you know what they had? They had these shakes that were like shakes that had booze in it.
Yeah, it was like a schnapps of some sort, peppermint schnapps.
Yeah, and they had like a special menu.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm just saying,
I had the burger. Very good burger.
I am just a fan of having fun at the movies. This is their Wicked, so I'm going back. Probably if I see Wicked again, I'm gonna go to the brunch, and there you go.
Well, yeah, I mean they're having some special screenings coming up. You're going to talk about one later, but there will be a sing-along screening at Wicked.
Well, you definitely need to like. Is this a sing? I don't want to go to the sing-along screening. I'm out for that. I'm out. Sorry, folks. I'm not doing that. But I'm all down for brunch in a movie. You know.
Yeah. And they have a movie pass now. I don't know if you noticed that, but
yeah, they do have a movie pass like AMC. That's like it's like $29.95. I'm not. This sounds like a commercial now, but to be clear, I am a fan of this chain. I went to the original, very first Alamo Drafthouse in Austin, Texas, in the late '90s during South by Southwest. It was a movie theater that was the weirdest thing. They had couches in the back. They had these chairs with these little like almost student desk things, and you could get beer. And I thought, wow, beer at a movie theater. That's innovative. Now all movie theaters serve beer and alcohol. They have to, I mean, movie theaters have innovated with what can we do to like, you know, fewer people are going to the movies. That's just a fact. Fewer people attend on an annual basis the films. How else do we make money? Sell alcohol, popcorn buckets, merch. I mean, the AMC has like tons of merch out. And then come up with themed cocktails and drinks. And we're going to talk later about all the Wicked marketing mania. I mean, it's insane. Separate story there. But
yeah. Well, my experience with Alamo was South by Southwest as well. It was my first year. And I went to the Alamo Drafthouse and decided that I was going to spend all of South by Southwest at the Alamo Drafthouse. Yeah,
because you don't have, if you're seeing a lot of movies, like you're at a festival, like you were at, there's no time to eat. It's like grab a sandwich, you know, which is like, but then if you're at the Drafthouse all day, you can get all your meals in.
And not only that, they have 4 or 5 movies showing simultaneously. So once you're out of one movie, you can get in line for the next movie.
Yeah. So look, and also kudos to Drafthouse for showing Elf. That movie is not politically correct. There are a lot of lines. There's the "Baby It's Cold Outside" song that it warmed my heart.
There's a man in a woman's restroom.
There was a lot. There's so much going on in that movie. You could not make that movie today. So good on that. So there you go. All right. We have some news stories. Alan, kick it off for me.
Okay. You tell me this now. Let's go to the box office. Hold on. Let me not knowing
what box office?
The last night's box office.
The
Glicked box office. Let's see who the winners are. From the wrap, Wicked blasts off at the box office to 19 million from preview screenings. Universal Wicked is often flying at the box office, earning $19 million from 3 days of preview screenings. John M. Chu's adaptation of the hit Broadway musical is on course for a $100 million plus opening, easily setting a new record for Broadway adaptations. The preview screening totals include 11 from Thursday, 5.7 from Wednesday, 2.5 from Monday. And Wicked is the... Okay, so let me just come down here. Meanwhile, Paramount's Gladiator II put up a respectable $6.5 million for the 3,200 locations on Thursday night, as it looks to bring out the male audience, particularly older ones, who are more interested in seeing sword fights than musical numbers. Any surprises here?
Yeah. Nothing surprising. That's good. Theatrical business needs it. So I'm happy to see that. Very happy to see that.
I'll say that the my theater yesterday, all the Wicked screenings were, I would say, 80% booked. Gladiator 2 got the IMAX screen and it didn't do so well this weekend.
Yeah.
Look, well, okay, we'll talk about it when we talk about Wicked. So I'll give my commentary later.
Okay, let's go to our next news story now that we've got that out of the way. This is interesting. There, wait, I don't want to start with, I'm going to start with this one. Okay. Do you have this one, the Ridley Scott?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah,
this is why I like to have a pre-show, like a pre-show.
Well, we have
meeting.
a list. We have a list, but you don't like to go down the list in order.
But I'm also I'm waxing and chatting, kind of killing time,
and then you'll say things like, "Put up this article," but you won't say what article it is.
Come on, Alan, you are my density. You're not going to say anything?
Yeah, I wish I was the one dying.
It's Friday. We're in a good mood. All right.
Because you could just put the list in order as you're going to do it, and then I can have the next one queued up. But no.
Ridley Scott says Denzel's character is Trump. Honestly, I don't see it. I think that if you look at Wicked, you could argue that Elphaba is Trump. She is wrongly vilified by a fascist leader, the Wizard, and you could argue that's Trump and Wizard is Biden. That I see, even though that was not the intent. It's something that because of recent events, you could kind of see it that way. Maybe whatever.
This 25-year-old musical that was
25-year-old musical. Yeah, but people read into it. I saw Gladiator 2. We'll talk about it later. I did not love the film, but I did not see this at all. Where did this come from? If you would read the story from the Hollywood Reporter here, Ridley Scott, Denzel Washington's Gladiator 2 character is very close to Trump. Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay, so the director explains the backstory behind Washington's scene-stealing character and how he's not unlike the president-elect. In Gladiator 2, Denzel Washington plays a glorious arms dealer and former gladiator who plots to control Rome. Spoiler alert, the character Macrinus is based on an actual historical figure, but Ridley Scott says that Macrinus is a bit like a certain modern-day politician. When explaining the character's backstory, Scott told Hollywood Reporter that he is a prisoner of war, probably at a North African state, and actually was taken to Rome probably as a gladiator, survived, got free, got into the business of maybe making wine and bread. He evolved into a very rich merchant selling shit to the Roman armies, food, oil, wine, cloth, weapons, everything. He maybe had a 1 million man spread across Europe, around Europe. So he was a billionaire at the time. So why wouldn't he have ambitions toward the throne? Why not me? He's also a gangster, very close to Trump, a clever gangster. He creates chaos, and from chaos he can evolve. So see it now?
Okay, Alan, you saw it.
Yes.
I did not. That did not pop in my mind. I mean, during Wicked, it did pop in my mind. Oh, this is the thing. They're vilifying the Wicked Witch, like they have vilified Trump. That but clearly I'm reading into it, not the intent of the filmmakers. I am reading into it, and I'm saying you can see it that way if you're looking. If you're not looking, doesn't matter. Do you see this?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's like he's a prisoner. He starts out saying he's a prisoner of war, stuff like that. Obviously, that's not Trump, but this is what comedy. This is what current day comedy politics. They take these stereotypes, these stereotypical characteristics of their antagonist, in this case, Trump, and they just read things into it. Well, he's a millionaire. Of course, it's Trump. He has ambition. Oh, that's Trump. He's racist. He's Messiah. Oh, that's Trump. That's how these people do it, and it's just not very clever. It's just very lazy in terms of, if you really wanted to make him Trump, there were things you could have done, could have molded the character to fit that character. But in this case, they just take the tropes, say, "Oh, it's got to be Trump." So yeah, I think he's just talking out of his butt.
You know what I really think? I think any article that adds the words Trump is just clickbait, and we are falling into it here.
Yeah.
And I guarantee Ridley probably was prompted by a journalist. This was a prompting by a journalist to, like, he was baited probably.
To get him to say something provocative so that he has a story.
Right. It's post-election. It's still Trump is in the news. And if you add Trump to any headline, I guarantee they're getting, better numbers when Trump is added to a headline. This is a non-story based on a 2-sentence remark on the press tour where Ridley was likely baited into saying something. So I give this no credence, and we will see more of it. And
we covered it.
And we covered it. We got suckered.
Yeah. No, I mean, I kind of knew this going in, but I just wanted to point out that, we still got some TDS going on here, and that, this is how you get the juice. And, I am not optimistic about Gladiator's box office this weekend.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, let's go to comments here.
Let's see. Z Springer Guitar became a YouTube member. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Lord Comet for 2. Good morning, Chris Gore and Alan and friends.
Hey, good morning.
And Lord Comet also says for 2, Wicked is fun. Just ignore the adult site on the box.
Why ignore it?
I know. Visit it. Lord Comet for 2. If that's close to Trump, I'm Elvis Presley. Yeah,
I
exactly.
know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like any dictator who has ambition, well, Trump. Arian D Jr. for 77 for 10R. While Hollywood is failing, Hollywood releases 2 films almost at the same time about the fall of Rome and the need of a new Rome. Gladiator II and Megalopolis. Interesting coincidence?
Not really. It's I pay attention to movies that are in the zeitgeist, right? They're tapping into something that everyone is feeling. And I think that's a really astute assessment.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I mean, I'll say that Megalopolis, I think Francis Ford Coppola was trying to say something. I don't think he succeeded in getting his ideas across. Gladiator 2 felt like a sequel to a very popular movie.
Right. But thank you for your generous super chat.
All right, 200 watt studio for 5. Scott is old. Trump is anti-war. Hates weapon dealers. These idiots rationalize their own psychosis.
Yes, true.
Vengeance for 5. Chris and Alan, what date is it appropriate to start playing Christmas music?
Now, I already decorated. Didn't you see? I've got my Charlie Brown Christmas tree up here.
See, I still have Thanksgiving up.
If you look at my set, I always change something really small that you might notice if you're paying attention. So we've got Charlie Brown Christmas tree weighted down by one ornament. We've got William Shakespeare and R2D2 each have hats on. And there's an elf hat like up here, right there. So there you go, Benjamin. Yeah, play it now.
I've got a turkey hat over here. I've got the fall leaves kind of going across the entire thing.
That's okay. You're in Thanksgiving land.
There's a pumpkin right there.
I wanted to be ahead of the game.
I grew this pumpkin, by the way. All right.
Akanika, member for 28 months. Thoughts on unification? Loved it. I wish we could play it. We get hit, but it's great. It's if you're a Star Trek fan, you will get choked up. And thank you for being a member for 28 months. That's huge.
Wow. It's a long time. I think that's almost the beginning. Let's see. And see, Sign 69. I honestly hate that phrase. You couldn't make that today. They won't make it out of social fear. All great things have pushback. If you want to make another movie, and if you make another movie like Elf Blazing Saddles, it would make money.
I 100% agree. I'm telling you, they don't have the balls to make it.
Yeah.
And I do think that movies that step out, that ignore the social media pushback, which is meaningless. It does not. I think that its importance is way overblown.
Mm-hmm. The great movies pull punch back. Woke Hollywood pulls the punches. That's why, you couldn't make it today. You couldn't make a movie as good as Elf or Blazing Saddles if you gave it restraints. Remove the restraints and it'll make money. Davina Duckworth, film threat would be 79%. That's what I see. Film threat would be 97% shorter without the verbal and emotional abuse.
And 100% less funny. Look, Alan and I are the two Stooges. He's Larry and I'm Moe. Was that accurate?
Yeah, probably. Except I can't do a Larry impression.
That's okay.
That's
okay. All right. What news story do you want to go to next, Alan?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That way I think the write for your communities. That's an interesting story.
Okay.
It's interesting.
There's the Disney one I do want to eventually get to. But
okay. Do we have a headline for that? What is it?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's the Muppet one. Is it there?
No. I don't see it.
I don't see it. Okay, let me get up there.
Can someone put it there? All right, I'm just gonna wait while you guys figure it out.
Yeah, okay, we'll figure it out. Just talk amongst yourself. Oops. Muppets going bye-bye.
Do you know how headlines work?
Yes.
Upper and lower case.
Yep. I wish I'd.
How about we'll make it? I got a better headline for you. Let me do this.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I added Trump to the headline.
Why am I not seeing this? Okay, there we go. All right, here we go.
This is your segment, Alan.
This is my segment. Here we go. From our friends at that Park Place. Disney to destroy the Muppets for Monsters, Inc. Josh Tomorrow will bulldoze Jim Henson's legacy with the destruction of Muppet Vision 3D. The worst case scenario has become reality. Disney announced today that it will destroy the classic Muppets and Muppet Vision 3D in Disney's Hollywood studios to make way for the new Muppets Inc. Monsters Inc. land and attraction. The company also announced that the modern Muppets, led by the horrific Matt Vogel as Kermit the Frog, will replace Aerosmith and Rock and Roller Coaster. The announcement dropped this morning on the Disney Parks blog, with company writers doing their best to pretend that this is somehow a good thing. Building off the exciting announcements from last summer's D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event, the new land will include the coaster we've all dreamed of, a suspended ride recreating the door vault scene during Disney and plus Disney and dining. I can't read. Plus dining and shopping and the whole new theater show. The Muppet. Oh God, my dyslexia is in full gear right now. The Disney Parks blog said, to make way for monsters, Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, and more of their friends will be moving right along to Sunset Boulevard, but there will be more to the story. The Muppets will be taking over Rock and Roller Coaster, teaming up with some of music's biggest stars for a rock and music festival. I'm going to end it there because I can't read anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
What
So
are your thoughts on this?
What are my thoughts? Okay. So a lot of things here. So we've like many things Disney has purchased, there was much excitement that happened when Disney bought the Muppets. Granted, Muppet Vision 3D came out before the purchase, but they were the Jim Henson and the Disney company were really tight there. Muppet Vision 3D. This is the reason this is so important is because this is Jim Henson's last foray as Kermit the Frog. So if you wanted to see hear Jim Henson's voice for the very last time, this was it. This is just a 3D show, a lot of fun, a lot of nostalgia to it, and Disney, as Disney does, decides that nostalgia, sentimentality is no longer needed, and they are bulldozing this movie. It used to be at California Adventure. They turned that into kind of a sing-along show. Last time I was there was for Frozen. So they got rid of it at California Adventure, and now they're finally getting rid of Jim's last project with Muppet Vision 3D. Like, just for nostalgia, my first trip to Walt Disney World, this was the ride I wanted to go on. This is the show I wanted to see. And I'll show you how great Disney handled the Muppet. After the show, I bought this. This is Fozzie Bear. This is a plush of Fozzie Bear. Look how big it is. It's larger than my head.
You're a big guy. Like you're over 6 foot, right, Alan?
Yes. Look how big this is. I think I paid $35 for this. Look how well crafted that is. Disney doesn't make this stuff anymore.
That would be over $100 now.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah, I bet you I could sell
at
this
least
and get a lot of money.
over 100.
Yeah, and so yeah, I am saddened that this is happening because this is it. And again, Jim Henson's last movie.
It is kind of sad to be fair. It's very sad. So I don't know, man. I just feel like Disney is the worst shepherd of IP.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand the fans of the Muppets, the fans of Star Wars, the fans of, well, I think Marvel has done a better job. They're course correcting, but they don't get their fans.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad because, when these news items came out, when Disney bought the Muppets, when Disney bought Marvel, when Disney bought Star Wars, everyone was excited about it. Everyone thought, yes, finally a company is going to carry on its legacy.
Yeah.
And instead they destroyed the legacy.
I was excited about Star Wars being acquired.
Yeah. They've done nothing of note. Okay, one movie of note with the Muppets, and that was Disney's The Muppets. That's to me the only good thing they've done so far with them. It's sad that my childhood, I mean, literally my childhood was the Muppets, Star Wars, Marvel, and Disney. And Disney has ruined all four.
Yeah. Yeah. And Star Wars was the big one for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, it comes up a lot on the show because I think it's such an easy home run.
Yeah.
Like a Star Wars movie that would appeal to men, right? Mm-hmm. The key demographic for Star Wars, the fans are men, okay? And women can also be fans of it. Women like male energy, right? They just do. And men like female energy. And that's why well,
let's put it this way.
It means a lot.
The marketing for Wicked did nothing to attract men.
That's okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's perfectly fine. The market is big enough.
Yes.
To where you could just market to a certain group and know you're going to make a lot of money. And that there will come along others who will catch on to that excitement and energy. But the idea that everything has to be marketed to everybody, worse, we've marketed to men long enough.
Yes, let me throw something else out. maybe a good discussion point for Versus on Monday. Hollywood has abandoned men in the same way that the Democratic Party abandoned men and maleness. They just forgot that market. And maybe there were too many women in key positions where they know how to market to themselves. They don't know how to market to men.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. I talked about this on Drinker's Show yesterday, that in order to sell something, you have to love it. You have to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And the shepherds currently of Star Wars do not understand it. It's a male brand, period. A wise man once said, turning Star Wars into a girl brand will turn out to be one of the costliest decisions in movie history.
Yeah, that person got vilified for that statement.
And that person was vilified for that statement.
That person lost friends because of that statement.
That person lost friends because of saying that on Twitter. That person, they tried to cancel that person, and that person was me. And I said it in a very unemotional, like, look, it's just understanding. Barbie is a girl brand, and good on Barbie. The women who saw Barbie, who celebrated Barbie, love it, love it. It was an event. We'll talk about Wicked later because this relates. But I feel if you targeted and made a Star Wars movie for men and mostly made it by men, you could have a huge hit on your hands. But really, Hollywood has abandoned men.
Yeah. Let me point something out about Barbie. How much more money would Mattel make if they marketed Barbie to men?
Not much, because men don't like Barbie.
But
men like Barbie, which is fair.
Yeah, but Disney is spending millions upon millions, hundreds of millions of dollars marketing to women with Star Wars, and they're not coming out. You know, sure, there are women who like Star Wars and it appeals to them, but there's not enough to justify the marketing cost for it.
Correct. And so what I'm saying is Hollywood has abandoned men. Mm-hmm. And as much as we could talk Gladiator II, I don't think that we'll see how it does. We'll talk Monday. We'll talk Monday.
That wasn't the manly film you were looking for?
Well, manly film with a lot of shirtless, half-naked guys covered in baby oil. Not a gay film, but it's for men. But whatever. Yeah. Wrestling is
it's
for
that
men.
assumption.
But women like wrestling. Women like wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially now. Because women are not just eye candy, and they actually have stories and they look good. I forgot my point. Keep going. You brought up wrestling.
Like, no, wait. Go ahead and turn this into a video, please. I forgot my point. The dead air, and then just have it go for a while.
You brought up wrestling. I just threw me out.
I love wrestling.
I love wrestling.
So it's fun. I go to Lucha Vavoom, every 3-4 months when it comes out. It's a fun show. Anyways, my theory is Hollywood has abandoned men and doesn't know how to market to men because men have been so vilified, whether it's dumb dads on sitcoms or just the men, hey, we don't want to put you front and center. And that attitude has permeated to the point where they've lost that market.
Well, sure. That's the excuse they give. Well, for hundreds of years, it's always been about men. So now it's time to market to women. The same thing, white people. You guys have had the monopoly long enough, and so therefore we need to bring in, diverse voices and stuff like that. The problem is that when you have that attitude, those stories just feel like it's a lesson. It's the message.
I think you can like. Mm-hmm. You can like both things. You don't have to. I like diverse voices. I watch a lot of small indie movies. I like seeing a new up and coming discovery filmmaker. I like diverse voices as creatives and new filmmakers. But what I don't like is the suppression of. It doesn't have to be at the cost of suppressing other traditional voices, however you want to say it. Mm-hmm. like, why can't we just lift? I'm an all ships rise guy. I'm an all ships rise guy. All ships rise. But there's a prevailing attitude of, in order to lift up this, we need to put this one down. Wrong-headed thinking. Bad idea.
Yeah, and that's what Disney Animation was doing. They were hiring more women who were not qualified and releasing veteran male animators and to balance things out. And in the end, they lost. Disney lost.
Let's go to your comments here.
Sons and Shadows. No!
I thought you were going to say on.
Okay, yeah. That's not how it works. The Nerd Far Away. No. Okay. On! Lord Comet. Rest in peace, Kermit. Yeah. Yeah. Benjamin. Muppet Christmas Carol. One of the best Christmas movies ever. Yes.
The Muppet movie is so good.
It is. The music alone.
Yeah.
But
Muppet movie is a musical.
Yes, it is. Yeah, Paul Williams wrote it.
We forget.
Yeah, and Michael Caine. I mean, the brilliant move to just have Michael Caine play Scrooge straight. Just be Scrooge and let the Muppets do their thing. Brilliant. 200-watt studio for two. Alan, why does your Fozzie have a rip in the back? It doesn't have a rip in the back. Yeah, see that? There it is. No, I took care of this.
I think he implied that you were doing naughty things to your Fozzie.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't understand. All right, Matthew Hammond for two. Disney has Farscape and has done nothing with it.
Yeah.
Disney has Farscape?
Yeah.
Lord Comet for two. I don't want to feel abandoned by women. Well, then you voted wrong. Francisco Sanchez Jr. for 10. Marketing pairs two groups, women and the rainbow community. Those groups spend more money and push opinions into the current zeitgeist. Men will have an uphill climb in this current culture. I will agree, except for the part that they spend more money. They don't. And that's the problem, is they're marketing to a group that's not spending money on this stuff. Axel's Abode, remember, for 3 months. People said Oscar for Denzel. He's so out of place, in my opinion. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I agree.
I think his character is laughable. Yeah. And I think people laugh.
Yeah.
You don't laugh.
He stood out so much in that movie in terms of being different from every other character in that movie.
Even like just had an American accent. It didn't work.
Mm-hmm. BMO better. Disney does not want fans. They want consumers. Yes. But if they wanted consumers, they should market to the people who actually spend money on their products. And 200-watt studio for two. Yeah, Alan is nothing sacred. Nope. No. And then finally, Patrick Lemire. Disney is the four horsemen of the IP apocalypse.
That's true. That is so true.
I mean, what other brand? Maybe Warner Brothers, but what other brand has done more damage to IP than Disney?
Yeah, that's true. All right, we got one. I think we'll just do one last news story today because we still need to get to reviews at the top of the hour. We'll see. We'll see what we have time for here. But Wickedmania is shizzing. I guarantee many of you are not aware of this. First of all, Wicked is going to be $1 billion movie. It just is. It may even be well into the billions. But from the Hollywood Reporter, the Wicked brand collabs are flying in hot ahead of the movie's November release. I didn't know about this probably because I'm not the target demo. Even though I like Wicked, doesn't mean I would see all of these things. I saw Wicked for a second time at the theater. We'll talk about that later. I shouldn't have been surprised. Everyone was dressed in pink and green. You had women with tiaras. You had men with tiaras. You had women in green thigh highs dressed like sexy Elphabas. You had sexy Glindas. It was, and how I think this is going to be a Barbie-like success is because the audience also makes it about themselves. They make seeing the movie and a whole experience. And I saw something that really kind of touched me, actually. There was a young woman in a wheelchair, and she was dressed up, all excited. And there is a major character, as you all know, Nessa, which is Elphaba's sister, who is in a wheelchair. And it's not like thrown in for diversity. That was in the story years ago. And it's a really integral part. And she was so excited. She was with her mom taking photos. And I got a little choked up, because I like to sit in the aisle with all the, wheelchair accessible seating. And I thought I might not be able to sit there, but anyways, doesn't matter. I'm joking, folks. But it was a frenzy. First of all, packed. I haven't seen the AMC Burbank 16 this packed since Barbenheimer. I mean, lines really long for, popcorn and whatnot. They were selling merch, and everyone was dressed up, and the big Wicked display became a place where everybody took photos. But here are the brand partnerships. Everything from here's a running list of movie-inspired clothing, beauty products, homeware, games, and collectibles from brands like Crocs. There you go, Lori. Bloomingdale's, I don't know what that is. Bees, Gap, H&M, Volespa, Lego, and Conair. I know Starbucks has a thing, and they're already, if you look up Starbucks Wicked cups on eBay, they're going for $50-$60. Look at this. So here's some of the pictures. I'm just going to scroll down. Bloomingdale's has clothing. You've got a glitter tank top. Very lovely tank top there. Stony Clover and Wicked. These are fanny packs, toiletry cases, patches, great value, and Wicked mystery color macaroni and cheese cup. You've got Wicked and Crocs. You've got like a green glitter Crocs. Volespa and Wicked, green and pink collection, glass and tin candles, reed diffusers, gift sets. Gap and Wicked, obviously clothing. Zach Posen, high-end beauty brand at Bloomingdale's. Roots and Wicked. And these marketing collabs are insane. Forever 21. I'm scrolling through here. Can you guys see I'm going to zoom in maybe a little bit more so you can see these, the merch here. Drop
the video there, yeah.
You got that. See the green tights. A lot of women had green tights. Look, there's a Shiz University student. There you go. Cases. Wicked phone cases. Beauty. Shark Beauty has a Flex Style limited edition hair curler. Rem. That's beauty products. So there you go. Muses Have a Heart Initiative, Cynthia Revo, and Wicked. I mean, I haven't seen this kind of Beekman's, Sydney Evan, Patron Silver is doing a Wicked tequila. Okay.
Yeah, they put our green ribbon around it. Good job, Patron.
Yeah. I can't even 17 rep the Lingua Franca X. I mean, you're Samsung music frame. What is this?
What is it?
Camilla and Wicked. They're doing dresses and fashion. Build-A-Bear Wicked. Conair and Wicked. What are we up to? Claire's and Wicked. Exclusive Wicked Alphabet Tumbler. Beast and Wicked. Roller. That's Roller Luggage. Rebecca Minkoff. I don't know what any of these things are, by the way. I'm just reading the names.
Yeah, but the thing is that Universal has made bank on licensing alone.
And by the way, Film Threat, if you go to shop.filmthreat.com, we have green holiday and Christmas, ugly Christmas sweaters and shirts. I'm wearing one now. So it's Wicked adjacent. Makeup from Eraser. We're up to 28 different collabs with brands. I haven't seen this since Wicked Cocktails, Straight from Oz by Cambridge Satchel. No, that's a whole other separate.
Mm.
This just it's I can't even. Dragon Glassware, H&M. I'm not going to go through all of these. We'll put the link in the. But then also you can get shizzed. Okay, let me show you this. I went to shizuniversity.com, and here is my student ID as a student at Shiz University. That's what I look like. That's pretty gay. I'm not gonna lie. That's what do you think, Alan?
Very, very beautiful. Here's let me grab mine.
Oh, really? Did you get a Shiz University?
There we go. Here's me.
Look at that. You look. No, that's Bowen Yang. That's not you.
I know we look alike, but no, that's me. I think I'm in this outfit. I bet there's a skirt underneath that.
Yeah. So you go to shizuniversity.com. Here it is. Welcome to Shiz. You enter there. You
music.
The marketing.
Hit the music button there.
Oh, sorry about that. You basically go there. This marketing is very smart. You make the marketing about the audience. The audience enters the world. You can obviously you upload a photo. You're part of it. You've got all these products. This is a Star Wars level marketing blitz. That's why I'm saying this movie will play. This is going to play all the way through January. It's going to make over $1 billion. You cannot ignore this. And I will say this, as much as knows its audience is marketing, I'd say you do this for Star Wars and you will make $1 billion if you market to men. As much as this is marketing to women, gay men, and guys who like musicals, which is a very small percentage of the audience. Alan, what are your thoughts?
I'm just drawn to this image here. All right.
Drawn to you? I'm picking
Look
it
at
out.
me. I'm so handsome.
I'm picking it out.
I know.
What are your thoughts on all this? I mean, this is why I'm saying it's gone under the radar. Literally, no one's like, and no, this is going to be $1 billion. It's $1 billion.
It will be. I mean, look, when we went to my local Regal, there were shelves of various Wicked popcorn buckets, cups, Funkos. I mean, our theater is basically becoming a toy store for whatever movie it comes in, and the amount of Wicked promotional items that we could have bought it was mind-boggling. And my wife was oh my gosh, I just had to fix the car, and so we're not in a position to buy all this, but boy, she was asking. There's a lot of stuff she wanted.
Wait until after the holidays.
I know.
I guarantee in January, look for the orange sticker. They're gonna trust me, they overstocked on all this stuff. So
but the thing is, the movie is good.
The thing is, the movie is good.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking Wish, and again, let's remind ourselves that Wish came out a year ago, and by March it was all on. No, actually, by what was it, 2 months? So by January, a lot of the Wish toys were on the clearance rack.
Haha! See,
yeah, but there is so much momentum behind Wicked. That it's this is congratulations Universal, you've got a hit here and you're gonna make a lot of money with it,
and the sequel will also make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's right, they get another year of juice out of this.
Yep. Let's go to your comments here.
Yes, Matthew Hammond for 2. Farscape is co-produced by the Jim Henson Company. I'm not sure that Disney has it. Jim Henson might still have Farscape. Then, all right. Here we go. Jet Scale Models. Is this the gayest Film Thread episode ever? It's the gayest gays. It's getting there. We're on our way. Seed, I still won't be seeing The Whizzle My Nizzle.
Fair.
The Nerd Far Away. I saw Wicked sweats with Teen Pink or Green in Walmart, for crying out loud.
Again, if you want to, I haven't bought any Wicked merch. I'm not that into it. I love the play. I think the movie really did nail it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give them credit. They nailed it. But I'm not into the merch. I'm into other stuff. Obviously, Batman is a thing for me. People that know me know Batman's kind of a thing for Batman. I like Godzilla. Ooh, Godzilla's green.
Yeah, and it was marketed to you too.
True.
All right, and from Lord Comment, faux shizzle.
Well, there you go. There you go. All right, we may do some more news stories, but we have to pivot here. And there are other movies that have opened in theaters. And we will talk about them. Yes. So let's get ready for film reviews. Alan, tell me what would you like.
If I knew which one you're going first, I could have it.
No, you see, you're here. This is where you're speaking your inner monologue. Say, hey, how about here? Look, just say, hey, Chris, I know we're going to talk about reviews. How about let me review Bonhoeffer? Is it Bonhoeffer?
Bonhoeffer.
No, but just say it, and then I'll go to it. Teamwork. We're like, I'll tell you this.
But sometimes if you just create a list and put it in order, then it just makes things move smoothly.
You just say, hey, let's review Bonhoeffer. It's a movie I've seen that you haven't. I want to talk about it. Just say those words out loud. You don't need to say, I don't know what we're doing. This is a collab. I'll tell you this. The character arc of Elphaba and Galinda, that's Alan and I. I'm pretty sure I'm Galinda and you're Elphaba.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I will say that
But we're at we're at the phase.
You are the one who made me popular.
No, look, we're at the phase where they're the song Loathing. That's where we are in our story. Yeah. We're loathing each other. This is the gayest conversation.
I know.
Wait, no, not that. Sorry.
No, not that one. I didn't see that one.
See it next week. Okay. Alan, where'd you go?
There we go.
I miss you.
And then back. Sorry.
Okay. Alan, I have not seen Bonhoeffer. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. You have seen Bonhoeffer?
Bonhoeffer. You are German, for crying out loud.
I am part German. I like Germans.
Yeah.
Look,
like my people were not a part of the Axis power. So yes, I could have mispronounced it and gotten away with it.
Yeah, that's cool. Tell me about Bonhoeffer.
Okay, so Bonhoeffer. Now the boning jokes are coming out in the chat.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so as many of you know, not only am I a Christian, but I've attended seminary. And Dietrich Bonhoeffer, one of the required readings was Bonhoeffer's The Cost of Discipleship. And so I read it. I know a little bit of the story in the sense that he was in prison by the Third Reich, sent to execution. And while in prison, he was very prolific in his writings, and they were able to smuggle a lot of his writings out. And he has several books that were ultimately published long after his death. But Bonhoeffer comes from, the movie Bonhoeffer comes from Angel Studios. It is the story of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, and as you can see, pastor, spy, assassin. So it basically goes through his life. It does the time jumping thing that I hate, but I'll deal with it. It opens with him in going to the Third Reich prison, where he would ultimately be executed. And then it just kind of follows his life in various stages. He is a Lutheran pastor who went to America in the 1930s for, I believe, a sabbatical and research. And there, while in New York, he stumbled upon a Southern Gospel church and was introduced to gospel music, to jazz, and to this idea that Christianity is not just a religion, but it's really a way of life. It's this relationship you have with God. And that had a profound effect on him. That when he went back to Germany, he began seeing what Hitler and the Third Reich were starting to do. And, basically silencing voices, especially those of the Jews. And he was, and the church at that time was pretty much bending the knee to Hitler. And he was one of the few voices that would publicly stand against that. And as you can imagine, he got in a lot of trouble for it. His mentor was imprisoned by Hitler. He was beaten. He was maligned. But a lot of what this movie is this idea of, as they point out in The Cost of Discipleship, is this idea of cheap grace versus costly grace. You know, for a lot of us Christians, you know, we have received grace, we have been forgiven, and that's not taken away from us, and we live with this comfortable feeling that we're good in God's eyes. But what Bonhoeffer says is that grace comes at a cost, and the cost is to stand up for what is right. And so he felt that it was his mission to basically to speak out against the German government and to try to get the church to do what it should do and protect the Jews as they were being sent off, rounded up and being sent off. But the church at the time remained silent. And a lot of this movie is an indictment on the church at the time for allowing Hitler to get as far as he did. And ultimately, he gets caught in a assassination attempt, and he's imprisoned for conspiracy for that. And not to, you know, if you know his history, he's ultimately executed literally a month before the end of World War II.
Oh.
And so, but you know, the thing is that, you know, he's a modern day Christian martyr. His death, you know, from his death came some amazing books. And was definitely a message at the time to Christians to say, you know, you've got to start speaking out against the wrong going on in this world. And so, as a movie, I very much enjoy the movie. I have a mixed reactions when it comes to Christian movies in general, but this one is well done in terms of a good biopic, a good thriller. I think it's better than most. You know, it kind of falls into the tropes that Angel Studios falls into in Christian movies, but very thrilling. And the message really comes across in terms of, you know, a man who was not only willing to give up his life for the cause, he volunteered to give up his life, because there are many times he could have escaped, but he knew that being in prison and going through whatever punishment he was set out for him was the right thing to do in the eyes of the church.
So you recommend it?
I absolutely recommend it. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think there's a broad appeal for this. I don't think you know, non-Christians are going to go to it, but I think it's a good movie to show them.
Let's go to your comments here.
All right, KG Jung, fear works keeping people silent. It's why government uses it all the time. That's exactly his point in the movie, because it was the church just didn't want to go against the government publicly because they knew what the government could do to them. Nerd Far Away, I plan to read the book first. Sounds very interesting. I'll watch this movie any day over Wicked. Yeah, actually, please see it in the theaters and support it. The book is not a story. It's a nonfiction book. So it's his discussions about the ideas behind grace. So, you know, the two are mutually exclusive. You can do both. Ivan Avila, always with the gay vibes with these two, LMAO, love it.
It's kind of funny because Alan and I, we text like girls every day. Not every, I try to leave you alone on the weekends, but you've texted me on the weekends before. Yeah. When you see a movie, when you watch The Acolyte.
I'll be honest, I have to be careful because I do have gay friends, and they are very good friends of mine. And sometimes I get an email.
What, from me?
No, from my friends going, interesting.
Oh my God. All right. I'm going to review a movie now that I don't believe you've seen, called Flow.
I have not seen it.
You've not seen it?
No, but I just haven't yet.
Yeah. Flow is an animated film The animation is in the style of it feels kind of like a video game in a sense. And it's a story of a cat. No, none of the cats or none of the characters in this movie. There's cats, there's lemurs, there's birds, various kinds of dogs. There's all sorts of animals in this, but its main focus is a cat. And this cat is trying to survive. It's a story of survival. This world is being flooded. And it is absolutely gorgeous. This movie is beautiful. It's relaxing. It's never boring. It's relentless in its action. And I won't say this movie isn't for kids. Kids will love it. But adults, I find a lot of films that are targeted solely at children to kind of be boring. This one is absolutely stunning with ocean views in this, and there's all kinds of mysterious things about this world. There are no people in this world, but there are things left behind by civilization. Boats. There are giant structures of cats. Why are they there? And I'll just tell you, and I actually love this, it's never explained. Nothing is explained in this film. It is a world without people where a group of animals are trying to survive against the odds. They find themselves in a boat together. One cat, a bunch of dogs, a bird, and they're all trying to survive. They're sort of human artifacts, or they're surrounded by it, but nothing is ever explained. And it's really weird. In the beginning, we see a boat in a tree. We're like, what is that? Like, what is going on? We see a giant structure of a carved, like a giant, huge statue of a cat. And everything that happens in this, it's so compelling. It's beautiful. There's a sequence with a whale. And all these animals kind of work together to survive. And I'll say this. They never speak. Not a word is spoken. Dogs bark and cats meow. Animals make animal noises, but we know exactly what they're feeling. Fear, desperation, love. And it's a quick 85-minute movie that is absolutely, it's like I don't know. It's just, I found it very relaxing with like the views of, and the music is phenomenal. It's, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a tone poem, right? We're just like, it evokes a lot of feelings. Absolutely loved it. Highly recommend it. Probably one of my favorite animated movies of the year, just because it doesn't fall into traps. It's a film from France too, which makes a lot of sense. I like the French are strange in some ways, in all the best ways. One of my favorite animated movies is by a director named René Laloux. It was a film called Fantastic Planet, or Les Planètes Sauvages. That movie came out in the 70s. Brilliant film, science fiction. And this is a French film that crosses all boundaries, age, whatever. Kids will love it. Adults will love it. I was at a screening before I saw Wicked for a second time. I showed up early. I saw this at 4:00 and was in a room with a bunch of adults watching an animated film. And we were all like just delighted. So strong recommendation. I think, Alan, you would really like it. And I want this kind of, it's refreshing to see something that is a genre people love. They like animated movies with animals. That's very popular. But does it always have to be the same? I mean, I saw the trailer for Bad Guys 2. I've seen a lot of trailers for, there's a new Zootopia or something. Did they make Zootopia 2? I don't even know.
They're making it, but
yeah, okay, that's coming. I'm saying funny animal movies tend to follow all the tropes. This does not at all. It's 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, 8 out of 10 on IMDb. I give it at least an 8 out of 10. Strong recommend. If you need a sort of just departure from, the kind of movies, because a lot of animated movies with animals or characters, they just hit certain beats. This totally is completely different. And I can't wait to see it again, actually. So strong recommend for Flow.
So is this is it, so I'm looking at the poster, it looks like anime kind of, or is it 3D? Is it 2D?
It's 3D. It's not anime. It's sort of its own. It feels like a highly rendered game. It just looks good. It reminds me of the game. It reminds me of the game Myst.
Oh, okay.
You ever play the game Myst, where it's like everything is beautiful, but nothing is explained? That's what I love about this. There's a mystery. It doesn't try to explain what planet this is. Is it even Earth? Like, there's a bunch of animals trying to survive, and they work together against the odds. But it's not like for kids, you know?
You said because it's going to be boring for kids, or
No, not at all. Not the least. Kids will love it.
it's the subject matter then?
What's that?
Are you saying then it's the subject matter that they're not gonna, that's not for kids?
No, it's just not. It's not focused only on kids. It's a film adults will enjoy.
Okay.
Let's see if we have some comments.
Yeah,
and we do.
Yeah, Mike MC Wong. Hey, Flo looks gorgeous.
Mike, go see it. You'll love it.
Nerd Far Away. I'm getting Studio Ghibli vibes, and I'm interested.
It isn't that. Maybe adjacent, but yeah. And
I mean,
Matthew,
quite frankly, this poster looks like Studio Ghibli.
Right. Matthew Hammond, do they speak? Never. I was worried about that. Like, it's going to be talking animals. They never speak. They're animals.
KG Jung, cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria.
That's right. Stripes.
Yeah. Index Channel should be nominated for Best Animated Feature. And also, by the way, it's eligible for Best International Feature, being the Latvian entry.
Nice. Know that. That's good to hear.
Okay. So it's from Latvia, I guess.
No, it's France.
It's France. Okay.
Maybe they somehow backdoored it into Latvia.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe it's kind of a joint thing. Bumpy Johnson, Flow or Wild Robot?
Why choose? Both are very good.
But you have to choose.
If I had to choose, I like Wild Robot a lot, I think, but I like Flow for how different it is.
Mm-hmm.
So just see both. I mean, Wild Robot probably gets the edge, but Flow I like for being very different. Very different.
Yeah. Well, Wild Robot is definitely a children's movie.
All right, Alan, do you have another film you want to review before we get to Wicked Gladiator?
I don't. I'm done.
Okay, you're done. All right. I'm going to get more coffee while you talk to the audience.
Okay. Hey, audience. Let's see.
I'll play a video.
Yeah, play a video.
Can I play a video for you?
Yeah. Sure.
What have we not played lately?
Me doing something embarrassing? How about one of those?
To be clear, I am a straight man.
And I am too.
And I'm super straight. But
I am
also
engaged in a heterosexual relationship.
Yeah, and we're both straight. We want to get that.
Yes, I'm in a heterosexual relationship.
I'm putting it out there.
I'm all on board with Bress.
That Alan and I are straight.
I stand with them and in between them. All right. Great. Let's get back to here. Patrick Stripes. You okay, bro? Not sure which one. What's that from? Oh, Nicholas Varga. That line is from Ghostbusters, not Stripes. Okay. What are we talking about? KG Jung, at least Chris referred to a Bill Murray movie. Am I missing something? What line are we talking about? I missed the line. Okay, sorry. I'm just looking at it. I'm not sure what you're okay. So Lori, if you could find that line, and then I can know what we're going on. Mike MC Wong, yeah, we're going back to Bonhoeffer here. They avoid a lot of Bonhoeffer's actual controversial religious views. He was one of those that considered the Bible not infallible. He liked Jesus for failures, weakness, rejects creationism. Okay, he still died for him. And the other thing is, someone commented before that Bonhoeffer, there's a controversy because it seemingly promotes Christian nationalism, which, quite frankly, I think is the current attack on Christianity, because the guy is going up against Hitler, and you're going to call it Christian nationalism? Here we go. Jean Hu, the line is dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. That's right. That's from Ghostbusters, not Stripes. Let's see. Let's go to. So we have all these. Yeah, that's Ghostbusters. The dog and cat line. Dogs and cats. Let's see. Here we go. From Jay Padridge. Best Animation Award is kind of a cop-out because then it can't win Best Picture too. Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. Beauty and the Beast fell in that category. It got nominated for both, and there's no way it was going to win Best Picture, which it probably should have that year. From Steve Z, Wild Robot is boring and by the numbers. I mean, that's the point I was going to make, was that what is it? The difference between international and American films. Wild Robot's based on a book, and it's written to American children, and kind of has the you write American books through the American marketing lens, and why something like Flow, being a story that's outside of the U.S. And just made freely by the French or the Latvians, you tend to get a much more authentic, a much more fresh approach to a story versus an American film. And let's see, Laura, you had something up there, right? Or am I? Okay, so then KG Jung, why are they in separate categories? Prejudice against animation. Well, it's an animated film.
No, it's not separate. It's you can be eligible in multiple categories.
Yeah. And for Latvia, I guess that's the only movie they produced.
Yeah, exactly. So international can be any type of film, and animated obviously has to be animated.
Yeah. I mean, how many Latvian films appeal to American audiences?
Yeah. So, hey, let's talk about spoilers. If you get the Gladiator and Wicked posters up.
Both of them?
Well, I mean, get separately. We're going to do spoiler reviews of these films. So you are being warned. Oh, wait, I didn't mean to share that. I'm going to share. I have something to say about it later.
Hold on, the Gladiator poster is missing.
It's on the thumbnail, Alan. You might have noticed.
I understand. Someone helps me collect posters. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, is that someone named Atomic Lori?
Are you asking me to throw people under the bus?
No.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Because this great poster that they put out. I'll get it.
All right, Alan, while you do that.
Yeah, here we go. I got it. It's now I have a series of buttons I got.
I can't, because these aren't labeled, I can't see what these are. Alan, you gotta okay, that's not that.
Yeah, if I had time,
you label.
I was busting my ass all morning because I had
Here's what will help me. Label the names. Just name it real quick. Then I'll see it.
You know how hard it is to get picture
every time. Yeah, it's called show prep. How do you think I line up the interviews and do all this other stuff?
Yeah. And I do nothing. I have a website to run.
I'm not
you know how
nothing. I'm not saying you do nothing. I'm saying right. help us. I'm trying to help us. I love that.
Gladiator 2.
All right, let's get into Gladiator 2. I did not love this film. Alan, you did not love this film. We did a non-spoiler review. This review will be filled with spoilers because they must be pointed out. And my God, I look, it wasn't as if I had any high expectations for this movie. They were low, and it didn't even reach my low expectations. In particular, and we will talk about the end of the movie, which the audience I saw it with laughed. I thought it was so dumb. It was, well, I'll get into it later. Alan, please wax for me, or would you give me your now spoiler thoughts on Gladiator 2?
Yeah, the movie was just one misstep after the next. I think the thing that bothered me the most about this movie was this constant reference to the first movie.
Yes,
we talked about it last time, that it was basically the opening credit sequence were scenes, animated scenes of the first movie, and then the entire movie is just constant callback to that first movie.
When you're reminding the audience the movie that this is a sequel to was a better movie, that's a bad sign. And that opening titles is what killed it for me. I just sat there going, why are they showing these? It could have been AI that they did it with. I mean,
well, I think it was, it was just basically rotoscoping the original. The thing though is that, here, I'm going to make a guess about the behind the scenes. I bet you they were never intending to put scenes of the original movie in it. And then when they got all the footage put together, they realized, oh God, we got to put footage of the original movie in this. Because and the reason this infuriates me is because the reason they brought in footage from the first movie was to build sympathy for the main character. 100% the only reason. Because they couldn't create sympathy for the main character otherwise.
Yeah,
and it's just cheap. I mean, this is storytelling at its worst when you can't build sympathy for a main character and you have to go through other means to do it.
Right, and then they had to go and reveal this connection, and I'm going to ruin it now. The lead character, Paul Mescal, Lucius, he plays Lucius, is the young boy that was in the first movie, Lucilla's son. It's implied very strongly that Lucilla and Maximus had an affair, which resulted in Lucius. So Lucius is the son of Maximus, played by Paul Mescal, as an adult now.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow he was abandoned by her.
Well, he was sent off for safety.
Sent off to safety, and he feels abandoned. He joined these so-called barbarians and kind of, just denied his past and fought for the other team, so to speak, and found himself in this situation. But that's the only reason we should care. The character of Lucius is the son of the main character from the last movie.
Yeah. Well,
it also shows you, by the way, how, I hate to bring it back to Star Wars. You tease me, you bug me all the time, like that I bring everything back to Star Wars, but I do. So it's like, why do we care about the Star Wars sequels? The lead character of the Star Wars sequels, Rey, took the Skywalker family name as her name, even though she's the granddaughter of the main villain of all 9 movies, Emperor Palpatine, the granddaughter.
Yeah, and it feels like that the sequels, that was the moment they were building to. And it was her declaration.
There are no descendants or progeny of the Skywalkers or the Solos or Princess Leia or anyone. None of those characters had sons or daughters that could have continued the story.
Kylo
That's
Ren.
why I think the future of Star Wars, if they're talking about a fourth trilogy, is such a bad idea. I don't think it'll work. I don't think people care enough about Rey.
Yeah,
So,
but it was this constant reminder that Lucius is the son of Maximus.
Right. So that so that you would care, right? But I'm saying in Star Wars they screw that up. I don't care now what happens to the granddaughter of the main villain. So this is like a veiled connection, and I thought it was so clumsily handled. The way the explanation was clumsily handled, and it's meant to make you care, but I don't. I'm not super. I think Paul Mescal is kind of generic as an actor. I don't think. I mean, I like Pedro Pascal better than Paul Mescal.
Yeah, which is why you have to constantly make connections with Lucius and Maximus.
Right, exactly. I realized Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal, their names rhyme. Pascal, mezcal. And mezcal sounds like an alcohol beverage. Just saying. Anyways.
Yeah. And then it just becomes it's just a generic tale. I mean, the only fights I remember are the ones is the mutant monkey fight, which is why I remember it. And then the shark battle.
Yeah, but the monkeys were so fake looking.
Yeah.
The way they fought, I'll tell you where it's like where the humans touched the monkeys, which are all fake. It looked fake. The sharks looked fake. It looked like, I mean, it's not as bad as Sci-Fi Channel,
right?
But it's in that direction.
Yeah. The thing is the monkeys, they were mutant monkeys. They didn't look like monkeys. They were bred to be fighters, and so it becomes a cartoon. And then the sharks, they put lasers on the top of the sharks to fight the.
They actually did not put lasers, but they may as well have.
I know exactly.
That scene just made no sense to me. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, and then again, Lucius, in the end, it's like, I'm here to make Rome great again. I thought it was interesting that the Denzel Washington character was basically ushering in the fall of Rome. I thought that was an interesting idea, but you don't realize what he's doing until literally the last act of the film. So this idea that he's plotting along the way is never really uncovered or revealed, or you don't get the sense that this is something significant until the end of the movie. You just get the sense that he is a guy who is getting his power through the emperor, by manipulating the emperor.
And they did the Rocky II thing. Let me tell you. So in Rocky 1, if you ask people who won the fight at the end of Rocky 1, well, you think Rocky. No, he didn't win. He did not win. Rocky did not win. He was defeated by Apollo Creed. But what did Rocky win at the end? He didn't win the fight. He won respect. That's what makes Rocky a great, great sports film, one of the iconic movies. And then what they did was they made a sequel to Rocky, Rocky II, which is basically the same movie, except what happens at the end? Rocky wins the rematch with Apollo Creed. He wins. That's what this is. This is a remake of the first Gladiator, but instead of, Maximus died, but he sort of won the spirit of Rome, right? He won the respect. In this, Paul Mescal as Lucius wins. It's Rocky II all over again. And let's talk about that final fight with Denzel. Alan, it was laughable. Be honest with me. It was laughable. And okay, spoilers.
You didn't like the mud pit that they're
Macrinus gets his hand cut off and it looks dumb. Yeah. It looks so dumb. He chops it off and it's bleeding like in a,
and then he tells him that he's his father.
The audience thought with laughed. Look, I know there are people or friends of mine who actually really like this film, and that's fine. I never begrudge people that have a different opinion than I mean, I like talking to people that have different opinions. That's why I think you and I are such good friends. I respect your opinion, even though when we differ, I think we're aligned on this for sure. I think, but wow, this just that when the ending is so weak like that. But this is the Rocky 2 of Gladiator 2 movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The other moment that stood out to me was, because in the first movie, Maximus grabs a handful of dirt, and when he does that, it's meaningful. It's there's you get the gravity of why he does that, and of course they have to repeat it here.
Yeah,
and it's done to create a smoke screen for a rhino.
Well, that's what Rocky 2. I love the Rocky movies. When I was a kid, those were like Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
I mean, Rocky 3 was an event. I remember that was just because it had built up. It was this small, almost indie movie. And even the story behind Rocky getting made was a great story with Sylvester Stallone. And like, so great. By Rocky 3, it was epic, right? Gladiator 2 repeats some of the key moments from the first movie, but not as well. Rocky 2 does the same thing. And it's all over. Now, in the case of Rocky 2, we really like the character.
Yeah.
We see him come into his own, but they just hit the same beats as Rocky 1 with a different lens, and then he wins the fight instead of losing it in Rocky 1.
Yeah. I mean, Return of the Jedi is very much like that as well.
Yes.
It's like the good guys are going to win. So here's the story of how they won it. And you just the ending, but you're really not that locked in with the original to tell an effective story that just kind of builds a good foundation beneath it.
But the ending, I'm just saying that I don't think this will lead to a Gladiator 3, whereas Rocky led to a whole franchise. Right? I mean, I love the Rocky movies. I love even the bad Rocky movies because I love that character.
Yeah.
That is Stallone. Like, that's a part of his spirit that he brought into being. He created a modern myth with the Rocky, not just Rocky, Apollo Creed, Creed's son, like that whole thing. It's a very American story. So, but you see the connection I'm trying to make between the Rocky films and this movie, Gladiator 2 and Rocky 2. It makes it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But,
I think maybe the point you're making is Rocky 2 is the ending you wish you had in Rocky 1.
Right.
Gladiator 2 is the end you wish you had in Gladiator 2. I'll tell you, this is why there won't be a Gladiator 3. Gladiator 2 effectively cut off the first movie now. So every connection you have with that first movie has been done with and dealt with and dispatched with. And the problem is, to make a Gladiator 3 movie, you have to be invested in the Lucius character. And I just don't think people are invested in that character enough to not only make a sequel, but to make a story that is purely his as this now great leader. I don't see that Lucius as a great leader because I was told he was a great leader in the movie and not shown that he was a great leader in the movie.
I mean, it's no different than our non-spoiler review. I don't recommend this film. Yeah. It's a colossal disappointment.
Yeah, it's bad. It's
you know what else? You know what else is not good? The popcorn bucket. Alan, you got the popcorn bucket. Do you have it? Let me you know what? I get all the dumb popcorn buckets. You know what I don't have? I don't have this bucket.
Because it looks so good in the pictures, but my daughter put candy in it. But there you go.
Even the bucket is a disappointment.
At least I only paid $20 for it, compared to the $35 I know.
With popcorn?
Yeah, it looked really good in the picture. And then when I opened it, it was like, oh God, I just got ripped off.
All right, let's go to your comments.
Yeah, let me turn this off. From Gorilla Biscuits, gifted 1 Film Threat membership. Thank you for that. Oliver Lavery Frog for 10. Gladiator PS5 had no weight in its shots, and any subtext seemed to be shallow, if present at all. I can't believe this is the same director DOP pairing that made made the first one. I was not entertained. Yeah, the CG ruined this movie, if anything, along with the story and everything else. But the CG was just so in your face.
Thank you, Oliver.
Lord Comet for 2. There's no glad in this Gladiator. The Brujo for 5 Australian. G1 Maximus has a dog in the opening. We know who he is from that Bond. Gladiator 2, guy has a vegetable patch and wife. Meh.
Oh yeah, Brujo. I forgot he does.
Mm-hmm.
Maximus. There are all sorts of subtle little things in that first movie that
and
are so good.
Yeah, and it informs the character without having to say things out loud.
That moment you mentioned is called Save the Cat.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you get the audience behind a character in a very short amount of time. It's Save the Cat. Sometimes in movies, it's literally save a cat, like Superman swooping in and saving cats from trees. And then, in other films, other subtle ways, people are shown to be kind-hearted. And so that's great that you bring that up. It's a very small moment, but very important one. Thank you, Brujo. Well, let's go to other comments here, and thank you for your super chat.
Okay, BMO better. Spoiler: this movie did not need to be made. Absolutely.
I think everyone feels that.
80 LS24. I'm more excited to see Gladiators now.
Yeah, that's a bad movie that was at the American film market.
It's probably better than this movie.
Yeah.
Alistair Campbell. So you were not entertained.
Correct.
The Nerd Far Away. This is why people should be writing original stories instead of whatever this nonsense is with Gladiator 2. Did we talk about how bad Denzel Washington was in this movie?
He's the worst performance that he's ever. It's bad for him. Sorry, but the comment's very.
Okay, here we go. Thoughts on fitness with Nigel. Chris, this deleted kiss. I instantly thought of the restored sequence in Spartacus between Curtis and Olivier. Hopkins voiced Olivier and Curtis himself. Snails and oysters. You know it, Chris.
Oh, I know the scene. Yeah, it's definitely very sexual.
Calvin Martin. They should done Gladiator, Springtime for Caesar.
Yeah, Springtime for Caesar.
Yeah, Bumpy Johnson. Denzel pulls out 2 golden magnums and shoots a bunch of people to death. You're yelling King Kong ain't got shit on him. You're yelling, King Kong ain't got shit on him.
He just seemed he was acting in a different movie. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
He's acting in a different movie.
And then Pedro Pascal, I mentioned it last time. He's the mopiest person alive. This great warrior, this great general.
It's a weak performance by him. So, all right, we're gonna pivot and we're gonna talk a little Wicked. Spoiler, Wicked. Here's our Wicked spoiler review.
All right, hold on.
Should I play a video while you're
hold on?
setting up?
No, because I had to do something with the.
No, it's okay.
Okay,
cool. And before we get into it, so this is our Wicked spoiler review. We'll get into spoilers, including things about the ending. I think, Alan and I both really love the stage play and really like this movie. I'm kind of shocked because the trailers and the promotion for the movie I thought were bad.
Yeah.
The trailers were, the effects in the trailers were bad. They cleaned it up significantly, but the trailers for this movie, I would groan at the trailers. And then the promotion for the film was not great.
The actor interviews. When I saw it Saturday, and just thought to myself, this is great. The second thing that came to my mind was they need to stop this press tour right now.
Right.
They just need to shut it down, let the movie speak for itself, because the actors are not helping this movie in any way.
Correct. But I got to say, they captured all the best moments from the stage play. The seeing this movie in a theater is an event. I saw so many women and men dressed in outfits, team pink or team green, and they were into it. And I love, I love enthusiasm. I love going to the movies. And when I see that kind of enthusiasm, it's that kind of like passion, enthusiasm. I love to see it. I'm sorry. I love to see it. And there's a lot of merch, and there's a lot of, I'll share something really quick. Alamo Drafthouse is doing screenings of Dicked. Wait, let me share that again. Dicked. It's a wicked stupid drag show. Alan, I just had it right.
Yeah, I know. Got it. There you go.
There you go. At the Alamo Drafthouse in LA, you can see Dicked, which, well, there you are. A wicked themed drag show. So there you go. But I love the enthusiasm. I want to get people back to the theater. I want movie theaters to thrive. I want to see a whole wide range of movies at theaters. And this movie knows its market. And I think, we've said it, it's going to be a huge hit. This is a $1 billion movie, but let's talk about it. And especially the ending. Okay. And I love when you see these videos on YouTube where it's like Star Wars ending explained. I'm thinking, did you not understand the ending? Ridiculous. But this movie ends perfectly at the same moment that the stage play has an intermission. And what I'm excited about for the sequel, for Wicked 2, or the conclusion of the story, is because I actually think for the stage play, a lot of moments in that second half are breezed by.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going through highlights of The Wizard of Oz, and it happens too quick. I think the second half has the potential to actually even be better than the second half of the stage play. So it ends with I'll say this. So many of the songs, people clapped when the song like Loathing or Popular or certain songs got applause at the end. I was surprised. So, and a lot of moments too, that one moment that is the original actresses who played Elphaba and Galinda in the original stage play, they get a moment, a song, and it's good. And the audience loved it. So that's great. And I can see this movie getting repeat business. People will see this multiple times. Right, Alan?
Yeah. We've seen it twice so far.
Yeah. You're going to go again, right?
Probably.
Well, you probably have to because your wife wants to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But the way it ends with the song Defying Gravity. Elphaba learns to fly with the magical broom. And it's
and the spell book.
I'm watching this movie and I'm like, this is a Marvel superhero movie for girls. That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's a superhero origin story. That's what it is at its core. And ending it there with the hard cut to be continued. Perfect. And the audience just erupted. I had the worst seats. I was off to the side in like the third row, like the best I could get for the Dolby Digital. So what I'm excited about in the second half, and there may be, put the spoilers warning up, would you, Alan?
Yeah.
What I'm excited about is I think this has the potential to tell the second half of the story better than the play. Because I actually think the second half of the play is not as good as the first half. And it feels rushed. Like there's a bigger story that's not being told. Because what it does is it continues the story of Elphaba and Glinda, but then it happens parallel to the events of Wizard of Oz. Right? Alan, what are you doing?
I'm going over comments here.
Well, pay attention here.
Okay.
I want you to engage in the conversation.
I know, but you're talking and usually you go on. So
well, but like then I want you to chime in. I care what you think.
I know.
For once.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of I'm excited about the second half. The second half really dives deep into the friendship between Elphaba and Glinda.
The friendship is tested every time we do a show.
Yes, exactly. And then you get it then runs parallel to the Wizard of Oz,
right?
Which
we know how that ends,
right?
We know how that ends. So if you've seen the Wizard of Oz, guess what? That happens in the second half.
Well,
You will see in Wicked Part 2, you will see a retelling of the Wizard of Oz from a different point of view.
Yeah. And again, this movie did it first. The stage play did this whole and was not really bad thing first. And so to say it's a trope is wrong, because if you're the first one to do it, it's not a trope. It's now a trope. And sadly, but let's see. The thing that I walked away with was how different the movie is from the stage play. And I'll say it this way: the movie is longer than the stage play. But what I talk about a lot is there's an intimacy when you see a live performance. So when you're sitting in the back row and the people look small, there's still an intimacy you get with that. And so when you see Elphaba singing "Defying Gravity," it's a major moment in the play, and you can't help but applaud and be excited for the ending of the first half. And to John M. Chu's credit, I think he understands that, and he did a lot. He made a lot of smart choices to bring not the intimacy of the theater, but to understand the emotional story of the characters. And that's why the movie's longer than the play, because they really do get into the emotion. The story about the humans and animals with Peter Dinklage as Professor Dillamond, I believe is his name. That's just something you kind of pass by when you watch it. You understand it. It's kind of subtext or a subplot, a B plot to the movie. But in the play, though, they really dive into it, and they really make Professor Dillamond a sympathetic character. And now you understand Elphaba's turn. You understand Fiero's turn. You understand why Glinda is kind of caught. She's like the church in Bonhoeffer. It's do I go against the government or do I fall in line with the government? And that's going to be basically the second half, and or the next movie. And so, yeah, the story with Bach and Nessa Rose. You kind of understand.
You mean Bick?
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, but that story there, the idea that he's in love with Glinda, but Glinda asked him to ask Nessa Rose out. You really got the sense of the betrayal that's about to happen between Bach and Nessa Rose. So there are a lot of things that are just brought out, and I think that's to your point that you made about why you think the movie is better. I see them as two separate entities at this point.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, John M. Chu. My vote for best director so far this year.
Well, this movie will be the most nominated film of the year in both technical, acting, directing. Just wait for it. It will be the most, and I actually think because of this film, this year's Oscars will probably get better ratings.
Yeah.
Because a popular movie will get Oscar noms.
Yeah. Well, and here's the problem Wicked will run into, or here's the problem for the Oscars. There's no original music in this. So, the music cannot be nominated for an Academy Award. That
sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, God, I guarantee this will be a movie that will get like it'll be playing through January minimum. It'll still be in theaters, and they're not going to rush this to digital.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a Valentine's Day promotion to see this movie in theaters. So I think it'll go.
It would re-release. That makes sense. Although
or it'll run through February, and they'll do a big promotion in February.
Valentine's Day weekend is when Captain America comes out. So there you go. Final thoughts on the second half. I want to hear your thought on it, Al, because I always felt when I saw the stage play, the second half was rushed.
Yeah.
Songs are not as catchy. It's dark. And all the moments that involve Wizard of Oz were kind of rushed and not as clear. I feel like John Chu has the chance to make the second half better than the second half of the play in terms of story.
You're saying part two. Are you?
I'm saying part two.
Okay.
We're speculating now.
Yeah, speculating. Okay, so part two. I am definitely excited about part two. I'm liking the decisions being made through here. Wicked's not a perfect movie. There are flaws that I found, especially in the beginning, but it really hits its stride in the end. Knowing what happens in the second half, there are a lot of interesting things going on, and they're adding stuff. And so Defying Gravity is the defining song of this one. We could be changed. I can't wait to see that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. And we'll talk about it Monday on Versus as well. Yeah. Let's go to this is I'm hopeful this will save theaters, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, theaters really need some help, and this movie will do it.
Yeah. The one movie so far, because I hate to say it, I'm not hopeful for Moana 2, and I'm definitely not hopeful for Mufasa.
Same. Let's go to your comments.
Okay. All right, here we go. Olo Li Ukwe. I already saw Wicked when it was called Into the Woods, and that was more than enough subversion and deconstruction for me. Into the Woods is not a good movie. And I mentioned before, Into the Woods doesn't capture the intimacy that the stage play does. And when it's set in this CG fantastical environment, as opposed to a black box on a stage, it loses all the heart and emotion. Wicked does it far better. And I think, again, John M. Chu made a lot of smart choices. And so I think it rivals the play. Patrick Lemire, Elphaba looks like she walked off the set of Ender's Game. Gorilla Biscuits, I liked it when the lead actress accused the audience of being racist. Classic. Oh, Hollywood, you guys, I tell you. Hollywood. Steve Z for 499. Did you guys get the Mpox vax before watching the movie?
Both of us did. It was it was required.
It was. Yeah, you had to show your Mpox card.
Yeah, we did. That's there you go.
Hey, Steph. Minor Act 2 is weaker than Act 1 in the Broadway show.
I agree with you, Steph. And guess what? Steph, who has been killing it on social media and her YouTube channel, My Nerdy Home, subscribe to it. She is going to be our special guest on Versus on Monday. Thank you, Steph. I can't wait. I was really excited to hear what you thought of it. I'm glad you liked it, but there are things to discuss. Act 2 is weaker, but what I'm saying is, in terms of the play, John Chu has a chance to actually stick the landing. Because I don't think Act 2 of the play completely sticks the landing.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's the relationship between Elphaba and Fiyero, and then it's also obviously the relationship between Elphaba and Galinda. That's the heart of the second act. And then the fascism and all that stuff helps too.
Yeah. The second act is pretty dark. So can't wait to see you Monday, Steph.
Yes. Rooftop Korean. Alan's checking emails. Get off his back. Yeah. You say I should be doing work while I do the show. Oh, here we go. Anning in Love. Oz. I cried at that part. I once did a commercial with Kristen Chenoweth as she was still pre-opening to Wicked and heard her sing some music. Yeah, Anning in Love. I have a relationship with her. That is my wife. And she goes, yesterday, talk about my experience with Kristen Chenoweth. And so now she's done it. But yeah, yeah, it's funny. But so she was doing a commercial for hair locks, which is a hair extension. And she was sitting next to an actress while doing it. And throughout the entire time, they were talking about, my wife is doing a play at school. And then Kristen, she knows Kristen Chenoweth. So the person next to her was like, oh, I'm doing this play. It's kind of Oz. And it was like, oh, okay. And then when Wicked came out, she goes, oh my God, I was sitting next to Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Lord checks. So Alan didn't get the check this time. Chris did. Cha-ching. Yeah, you got the universal check for this movie.
I did not.
Be more better. How are the monkeys in this movie?
Oh, okay. By the way, monkeys in this movie better than the monkeys in Gladiator.
Yeah,
Gladiator 2.
Yeah, and them looking like mutants was on purpose. We knew it was happening. Chelsea M. Adina Menzel.
Well, you pronounced it better.
Adele Dazeem. Adele Dazeem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of my wife, she wept incessantly when Kristen and Adina showed up.
She wasn't the only one. I mean, my theater was. I like to see a movie with an enthusiastic audience. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna see Wicked and you want to experience it, see it in the first few weeks of release.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that moment was coming up, so I'm looking at my wife as it's about to happen, and just the instant tears just bursting out of her face. It was amazing. It was like our honeymoon. Gorilla Biscuits. How is the Defying Gravity song a film threat? That's basically the whole thing.
It's great.
Yeah. If they screwed up Defying Gravity, they would have screwed up the entire movie. All right.
Your wife is stalking you.
I know she is motivated in the chat now. I wore a Wicked shirt and ordered a sweatshirt. Well, technically, I ordered the sweatshirt. All right. Thoughts on fitness with Nigel. I just see woke Wicked.
Look, you either like musicals or you don't. It's like, you like Thai food. You either like it, you don't like it. I'm not going to convince you that you like a kind of food that you don't like. If you like it, it's like discussing you don't like it, you don't like it. So
yeah, and that was my fear going in, just based on the press tour. And I'll be honest, it was my fear about Inside Out 2 as well. And to just see a regular movie or just see a movie that's faithful to the original is quite refreshing. And I wish Hollywood would do it more often. Gorilla Biscuits. I'm so gay. I saw Wicked in Chicago 15 years ago.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Anthony Ringet. I listened to some of the soundtrack earlier. Wasn't impressed. I'm too old to like anybody but Adina and Kristen. Ariana was great enough. Yeah.
Ariana was amazing. I thought she was. I mean, the crowd ate her up. Like, she was just so just the most inconsequential line was the delivery is hilarious.
Although
weird mispronouncing words is really it's very charming. It's very charming.
So the hair thing was getting to me.
All right, that wraps it up for us today. We will be back on Monday with Versus. Quick reminder to go to shop.filmthreat.com. I forgot to plug it. We have holiday items. We've got, wait, no, that's not it. It's somewhere here. Here we go. Drinkware, accessories, Film Threat pint glasses, mugs. There's Film Threat socks. I have a pair of those. I have a pair. Look, Film Threat socks. They're sexy. There you go. So go to shop.filmthreat.com. Get holiday items for a limited time. Are there Film Threat shirts, like hoodies, all kinds of stuff. Just do it. So there you go. You should have put the thing up there, Alan.
Oh yeah. I got it. I'll find it.
There you go. It doesn't. It's
yeah,
all
there
good.
it is. I found
It's all
it.
good, man. All right. Thank you so much for all your super chats. Thank you for hanging out with us in the chat. We'll be back Monday with Versus, Hollywood on the Rocks. Thanksgiving is next week. We'll do a chill stream a week from today. Just chill. We'll talk about some other films. And there you go. So did I miss anything, Alan?
No, I think that's it.
Really?
I don't know. Brock Samsonite wants to know if we have a date yet for Award This.
February 2nd. The nominees will be announced within a week.
Mm-hmm.
We're going over
just
the
after
nominees.
the holidays.
Yeah, they will be announced February 2nd, and we will have a link for tickets on sale in December. So there you go. Looking forward to that, and want to say thank you to our mods. Thank you to Atomic Lori, to Glenn Nuccio, and also just come back for whatever we
Holy fucking shit, these reviews are delicious.
Yeah, just drink up Film Threat reviews. What do you got going on this weekend, Alan?
Gosh. I'm seeing something. It's just mostly family stuff. It's the holidays. Did you know Thanksgiving is next week?
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. It's so weird. Will your dog be at Thanksgiving?
You know, it's just this running theme that they have.
Well, it's Zootopia. I don't think Zootopia is Pixar.
It's not. It's a Disney. But it is. Racist, even though I just. But it's the father who doesn't want her daughter.
You can't give your dog so much, non-dog food. You just shouldn't do it.
Okay.
All right. But you got mostly family stuff.
Yeah. How about you?
There you go. All right, cool. Have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great weekend, Alan, my friend.
Yes. And have a great weekend.
We gotta do that's not yet. That's next week. Don't get me. We should do the Loathing song together. Someone should make that like an AI version of you and I doing Loathing.
That'll be great.
It perfectly explains our relationship. All right, Alan, what else do you have to say?
Let's get out of